Hello, my name is Rory and today I'll be talking about the hormone ghrelin. What is ghrelin? In its active form, ghrelin is a 28 amino acid peptide. It is secreted by the stomach by specialized enteroendocrine cells and is synthesized mainly by cells in the gastric mucosa, but it is also found in the hypothalamus, pituitary gland, hippocampus, brain cortex, adrenal gland, intestine, pancreas, and many other human tissues. Ghrelin exerts neuroendocrine effects of eliciting growth hormone release, regulating appetite and energy metabolism. Ghrelin levels increase just prior to eating and decrease once food is eaten. This diagram shows a brief overview of the areas of the body that are affected by ghrelin. It is clear that ghrelin affects many components of the body, so it can be deemed vital to our normal growth. Regulation of ghrelin release. Ghrelin acts via a negative feedback mechanism. When the stomach is empty, ghrelin is released from cells in the gastric mucosa. When the stomach is full, ghrelin release is inhibited. The main stimulus for ghrelin release is hunger, either through the body's natural feeding clock or alternatively through the sight or smell of appealing food. This causes the increase in ghrelin production by the stomach, increasing circulating levels of blood. Ghrelin reaches the brain by crossing the blood-brain barrier, acting on receptors in the hypothalamus. This causes an increase in growth hormone releasing hormone through binding to G protein coupled receptors. This stimulates adenylate cyclase, increasing CAMP. Cyclic AMP activation increases both GH release and synthesis. Growth hormone is a vital hormone in the body released by the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland and is essential for growth in all tissues of the body. Actions on other systems. Ghrelin also interacts with other hormonal systems such as the endocrine, gastrointestinal, and metabolic systems. Ghrelin stimulates food intake, maintaining stable glucose levels in the body. This in turn inhibits insulin release from the pancreas, preventing catastrophic drops in blood glucose levels. Ghrelin also interacts with the autonomic nervous system. The stimulation of the vagus nerve will increase ghrelin levels and in turn promote gut motility. In contrast, activation of the sympathetic nerve fibers will cause a decrease in ghrelin release from mucosal cells. Ghrelin signaling pathway. Firstly, ghrelin binds to cell membrane receptors which activate signal transduction pathways. This causes a cascade of second messenger pathways such as the activation of cyclic AMP phosphorylation to protein kinase A. This regulates neuropeptide Y neurons which are responsible for the control of appetite and energy homeostasis. Next, ghrelin activates AMP-activated protein kinase which regulates food intake, increase or fasting, and vascular actions. The final pathway involves the activation of protein kinase C, which increases calcium serum levels. This is important as it regulates growth hormone release from pituitary cells, which is necessary for normal growth. The Prader-Willi syndrome. A disease state in which ghrelin function is altered is the Prader-Willi syndrome. This genetic disorder is characterized by an abnormality in chromosome 15, which has drastic effects on ghrelin production. This may be caused by desensitization to GHS receptors, prolonged GHSR expression, or abnormalities to hypothalamic function. Individuals with this disease have high levels of ghrelin present in the blood, leading to feelings of constant hunger and overall lack of satiety. This often leads to overeating and in turn obesity. Thank you for listening to my presentation about ghrelin.